We envision Boston greener, faster, more interesting, more walkable, more reachable, cleaner, smarter, and freer.
The BSA Foundation's vision is to engage communities, to inspire vision, and to provoke positive change in order to build a better Boston.
BSA Foundation, it's vital for our ability to extend what we can do beyond just community organizing to make progress.
BSA Foundation has a depth of design expertise and the ability to mobilize design professionals who can help plan the future of Boston.
We're about to help people out like that want to ride bike on the street but don't want to get hurt at the same time because they're right near the cars.
Kids ride bikes a lot, and so what we designed is like grass or like trees to split up cars and bikes on their own lane and stuff.
At BSA Space and the programs of the BSA Foundation, we work a lot with kids. And today we're here at the Berkeley College of Music doing a youth brainstorming session for kids to imagine what Boston's going to be like in 2030.
Imagine Boston 2030 is Mayor Walsh's initiative to conduct a 2-year visioning and planning process for the city of Boston. It's the first time in 50 years that the city has done something on this scale, and it's very exciting because it gives us an opportunity to think about how the city can grow.
We're making a performing arts center. This is our grass area. This is our entrance. Right here is the layout of the kiddie pool that we're going to have for the kids. They are in the process of making the stage right now. Yeah, because we don't have
A big piece of this is to have the kids realize that they are part of the process, part of the solution, that we actually really value their ideas, and that they actually have a unique perspective.
We have a solution that there's more buildings and jobs for people to stop selling drugs on the streets.
A lot of these youth, they're not really sure what they want to do in the future. But having individuals work with them and talk to them about architecture, talk about design, you're sparking future architects and future designers and future thinkers. And so I just think that anytime that we have an organization that's well known, such as the BSA and BSA Foundation taking part, I just think it's a benefit for everybody here in the city.
And I think this project is cool.
I've been in this neighborhood for about 11 years, and Woolson Street was a street that has always had a pretty bad reputation because, you know, of all the violent things that have happened. There's been stabbings, murders, drug dealings, so it's a place that you wanted to avoid at all costs.
This space was a vacant lot, and it was something that was producing a lot of weeds, a lot of trash. It was a place that was seen as unsafe because there wasn't anyone that was here to guard it, to upkeep it, or have accountability for it. So this was just a horrible eyesore on the street.
The city had funds that they were able to direct towards the construction of a garden, a community garden, if there was neighborhood support for such a thing.
The BSA Foundation really helped out the project in a 2-step process. One, they provided us the design services to lead the community through the design charrette, and came up with a design that really reflects the community's wishes. And then also the foundation has helped keep the communications alive once the garden has been built.
Neighbors of this garden, they see the beauty in it. They like to come around, they like to have their kids around, and already people who are new residents really want to be near this garden.
What you see here is the first phase. We know that there will at least be a second phase, and perhaps third and fourth, and many more to come.
When I talk about the work I do, I always bring up Woolson Street. We have lots of projects we're working on all the time, but that's the project when somebody asks me what's a project I'm really proud of, it's the Woolson Street Community Garden.
It's a beginning for healing. People just walk by now and are more comfortable at stopping. And that's what we want, what we're trying to encourage is some togetherness, some community, building people together.
In this neighborhood, a home is your biggest investment. It's what you've worked for, not for just yourself for your whole life, but for your families over generations. So people are going to stay in their homes.
It's important to think about climate adaptation and resiliency for the neighborhood of East Boston because we're effectively an island. We're surrounded by water on all sides, and we're extremely susceptible to sea level rise.
Our work here in East Boston began at the Boston Living with Water Charrette, which we hosted just about a year ago on the 2-year anniversary of Superstorm Sandy. And coming from that, one of the things we wanted to do was to bring some of those ideas from the Charrette and start working on the ground in a community.
BSA Foundation, Boston Architectural College, and CDRC, our partnership with them has been vital to being able to gain access to the technical expertise, to assess the buildings, to understand the impacts, to understand what technologies are already there.
If you don't let water into the basement, then we're putting too much pressure on the foundation and compromising everything. Right. So this floodgate would respond to that pressure by opening and letting the basement fill with some controlled water to preserve the structural integrity. But that only happens if the water comes up high enough.
The Huxtable Fellowship is a competitive fellowship at the Boston Architectural College where students who have a vested interest in doing design work in the civic realm or the public realm are afforded the opportunity to work on real projects in real places with real people.
The Huxtable students produced a menu of action items, things that residents can do to both prepare for sea level rise as well as extreme heat or extreme cold at a variety of price points and a variety of complexities to construct. In the bigger picture, community engagement is vital to the successful adoption of these ideas as well, because there are many, many well-intentioned plans that are sitting out there on shelves collecting dust. We want this to be something that's really of the neighborhood, by the neighborhood, and that people actually do.
Many of us in our day-to-day lives don't have the opportunity to do work that will really contribute meaningfully in the long run to improving our communities. The BSA Foundation is created in order to make a lasting change in our communities, to really have a long-term vision of a better Boston.